I invite you to hear with brand new ears and an open heart this poem for courage by John O'Donohue. When the light around you lessens and your thoughts darken until your body feels fear turn cold as a stone inside. When you find yourself bereft of any belief in yourself and all you unknowingly leaned on has fallen. When one voice commands your whole heart and it is raven dark. Steady yourself and see that it is your own thinking that darkens your world. Search and you will find a diamond thought of light. Know that you are not alone and that this darkness has a purpose. Know that you are not alone and this darkness has a purpose. Gradually, it will school your eyes to find the one gift your life requires hidden within this night corner. Invoke the learning. Invoke the learning of every suffering you have suffered. Close your eyes, gather all the kindling about your heart to create one spark. That is all you need to nourish the flame that will cleanse the dark of its weight of festered fear. A new confidence will come alive to urge you towards higher ground where your imagination will learn to engage difficulty as its most rewarding threshold. That last verse again. Close your eyes, gather all the kindling about your heart to create one spark. That's all you need to nourish the flame that will cleanse the dark of its weight of festered fear. A new confidence will come alive to urge you toward higher ground where your imagination will learn to engage difficulty as its most rewarding threshold. There's been a lot of death and dying in my circle of friends. Several physical deaths of loved ones, several relationships dying. More than one car has died. More than one bout of confidence has died. And in the middle of summer, when the heat is so oppressive and everything seems dark, in the middle of the brightest, hottest sun you can imagine, it's a mighty dark indeed. And I have found myself saying to others, as I have found myself saying to myself, the words of Tara Singh, one of the great spiritual teachers of the 20th century. What you are is far more powerful than what you want to become. Take that one in for just a moment. What you are is far more powerful than what you want to become. At some level, grief and fear is me saying, I'm not enough. This is not enough. My mama died, my car died, my job died, my marriage died, whatever. It died, and I am not enough. I am scared. I don't know how to go on without my mama. I don't know how to go on without my car. I don't know how to go on without my job. I don't know how to go on without my relationship. I don't know, and I'm not enough, and it's all, I'm going to die. And that's a perfectly valid and valuable response. That fear, that sadness, that grief, that sense of I don't know what to do is not the enemy. It is precisely the friend which needs, wants, longs to be befriended. so you can take the next step in your life, whatever that next step may be. And there's always that desire to get to that next step when things are nice, when you're over your grief, when the loss has been healed, when a new car has come, when the new job has come. That's what then things will be nice. And what life is telling us again and again, what the great spiritual teachers of all times have told us, is wait a minute. Be here with the faith, the confidence of knowing that this place where you are is holy ground. This place where you are is enough. Who you are is enough right now and right here. Because what you are right now, as scared as you may be, as confused as you may be, or as hopeful as you may be, but however you are right now is far more powerful than that imaginary thing you're going to think you're going to be when you get thinner or stronger or richer or faster or whatever it is you think is going to make you more, better, fuller. What you are in this moment is a child of the universe, heir to all that knowledge, wisdom, light, love, and energy that has ever been, is in me, in you, in this moment now. And yes, you would like to have a new car. You would like to be thinner and fitter. You would like that over there. And there is nothing wrong with hoping for that and dreaming for that. But it is not because you lack that, but because in this moment of fullness and richness and beingness, in whatever state you're in, there is an opportunity to also envision a future. Not because you need it in order to be better, but because from the fullness and isness and magnificence, the whatness of I am in this moment is fully capable of unfolding into much, much more. And you say, well, wait a second. Am I whole and complete as I am or not? Yes. And it is precisely embracing that wholeness and completeness in this moment that allows more to emerge. It is a crazy-making paradox if you try to think your way out of it, which is why again and again the higher power of my understanding invites me just to be present and stop thinking so darn much. I have the good fortune to have a high IQ. I had a great grade point average throughout school. I got A's on everything without half even trying. And you know what? It doesn't matter diddly squat. Because ever since I graduated college with my nice high grade point average, not one person has ever referred to it, ever asked me about it. It has not helped me one bit in my marriage or learning how to be a parent to a teenager, much less learning how to love myself. As a matter of fact, that brain that was so good at figuring out algorithms and quadratic equations and conjugating participles or whatever that was, that brain, which is so good at those linear, intellectual, logical things, is no help whatsoever in coming to peace with where I am. Because that brain, that logical brain, always wants to be out there, wants to be ahead, wants to figure out where the angles are going to meet, wants to know how that verb is going to be conjugated, instead of just being in the moment. The mind does not like the moment. The ego hates the moment. The soul thrives in the moment. And guess what? When you're laying in bed alone at night and you're wrestling with that problem, that big problem that's been worrying you all day at the office, was a big problem over the dinner table, that problem, that what you're trying to fix with your head, in that moment, in bed, in the dark of the dark, your mind will not bring you your peace And the soul is waiting for nothing more than your willingness to turn into the night, into the dark, into the aloneness, from a place of enough. What you are, who you are, is far more powerful, magnificent than what you want to become. And we forget. And we are here to remember. I've told this story before, forgive me if... No, I've told this story before and I tell it again because I choose to remember. And I invite you to remember. The story about the little 6-year-old girl who was excited to discover that she was going to get a little baby sister. Was very excited. Yay, Mommy's going to have a baby in 6 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, and finally the big day came. Mom and Dad went off to the hospital. A baby arrived, came back home with the baby, and showed it to the big sister, 6-year-old sister who'd stayed with the babysitter. And the sister was just so happy. Yay, I've got a baby sister. And the parents were really delighted to see how well she handled the baby sister, because she'd been an only child for 6 years, and they were a little worried. How's the older child going to react to having a little sister? And in fact, she was a wonderful big sister. And then, after about 3 days at home, the older sister said, Mom, Dad, can I spend some time alone with my little sister? Mom and Dad were a little worried. Maybe the jealousy was coming to bear. Maybe this was the time. I don't know. But the 6-year-old sister really wanted to be alone with her baby. So Mom and Dad left the room and left the 6-year-old alone with the baby. But listened in on the baby monitor. And what they heard was the sound of the big sister going over to the crib, leaning over and whispering to her baby sister, tell me about God. I'm starting to forget. We forget. But we're here to remember together with our songs, our stories, our prayers, our hugs, our cup of coffee. What we're really doing is looking at each other and saying, hello. Please remind me about God, about who I am, about who we really are, and what we're really here to do, which is to love and to grow and to prosper. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.